Well, it is something that you hear about, but not something you expect to see happen in your own community. The issue here is dog fighting.
But the fact is, dog fighting's prevalent in Ingham County. And in part 2 of our special report, Pit Bulls, Friend or Foe, we take a look at this underground trend and what it means for area dogs.
They're known for their loyalty. They've charmed America in 20th century pop culture. And they're horrifically abused.
I would say of all the pit bulls that come in, we probably adopt out less than 25%.
Jamie McAloon-Lampman runs the Ingham County Animal Shelter. She says her staff places deserving dogs in loving homes every day. But for the dogs that end up here, that day will never come.
Those dogs will not be adopted out.
That's because these dogs are the unnamed victims of dog fighting, and adopting them is illegal.
That's state law. You cannot rehome a fighting dog. You cannot rehome it. It's against the law.
For this dog, his scars tell the story barking can't. At just 5 months old, he'd already experienced the horrors of dog fighting. Just days after we met him, he was put to sleep.
We do have a lot of dog fighting in this area. We see a lot of irresponsible pit bull owners.
Irresponsible owners whose nameless victims now have nothing to do but wait and nurse their wounds.
I've picked up a dog with its ear ripped in half before, scars and all up and down the arms and face.
Jody LaBombard has worked as an animal control officer in Ingham County for just over a year. She says the phone rings almost every day about suspected dog fighting operations.
I see a lot of horrible things done to animals. It's sad, but I just have to, swallow it and keep going.
She says dog fighting is more prevalent than the community knows.
They throw them out in a ring and tell them to fight for their life, and then, we end up seizing all of them.
And that loyalty wins them nothing more than a final walk here, into the medical room.
These dogs love our staff. They love our staff. It's very difficult when we have to euthanize these dogs. Extremely difficult.
I'm going to give kisses.
Dr. Maria Ilopulu is a veterinarian who studies pit bulls. She says it doesn't have to be that way.
Each dog should be assessed individually.
She recently adopted her pit bull, Baba, and says state law needs to be updated, arguing that those who kill dogs rescued from dogfighting rings are no different from the abusers.
When they're puppies, you can certainly give them a chance. There is no reason to euthanize them, regardless of their breeding background.
But McAloon-Lampman says the risks of adopting out former fighting dogs are too great.
They always tout, they show pictures of their babies with their dogs. Well, then you walk a dog by and you'll see that dog show a truly different personality that it's just frightening.
When we visited, these doomed dogs were excited to see us, but their enthusiasm won't overturn their fate.
Your best fighting dogs are the most excellent people dogs. They have to be in the fighting ring.
In spite of their broken lips, scarred legs, and spikes that show the world how tough they're supposed to be, LaBombard says all these dogs want is to please their owners.
Quite a few of the dogs that I've seized and had contact with involved in dog fighting are actually friendly dogs to humans.
And that's the reason that they get in trouble, because they want to please the owner so much that they're gonna die for them.
And while both the Ingham County Animal Shelter and Ilopulu wish more pit bulls had stories like Baba's,
Kisses to the camera.
they know that for these dogs, it's too late. These cages are the last place they'll ever call home.
Stacia, we see there, and you talk about the cases where they can prove dog fighting, and then it's against the law. They've got to euthanize these dogs. Well, with the cases where they're pretty sure, they suspect, is there any chance these animals could still get adopted out and maybe even go into a home that's unsuspecting?
If the owner has been convicted of dog fighting, those dogs have to be put down. But there is a chance, if they haven't, that it could go back to the owner, or that they could be put up for adoption. But if it was part of a fighting ring, I mean, there's a good chance that it wouldn't pass the temperament test anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacia, what about people that saw your report tonight? They want to give these dogs a second chance. What can they do to adopt an animal?
Well, you can't adopt a fighting dog,
Right.
but there are plenty of pit bulls that are still looking for homes. And if you want to do that here in Ingham County, they're going to make you jump through some hoops. So you have to get 3 letters of recommendation, 1 from a veterinarian, and in some cases they'll actually come out and inspect the property before allowing you to adopt.
That makes sense. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for
Thanks,
that.
Stacia. Informative. All right.
Well, Fred's up next with sports and our team of the week. It was a big high school baseball doubleheader.